A lot of people ask me, hey, I love Kim Possible a lot. You seem to like Kim Possible a lot. So what is the worst episode that the show has ever made? Well, person living in my head, we're gonna learn about it today. Although Kim Possible is probably one of the best shows ever, not every episode from every show is gonna be great no matter what. Avatar The Last Airbender has the the Great Divide episode. It's like the same thing, so whatever. Rick and Morty, in my opinion, has the Keith David President episode for its lackluster conclusion.
You have the right to get the out of my office. You have the right to kiss my Give me the thing.
And Kim Possible has the episode Size Me, mandated by Disney to get kids to start eating healthy. You know, Disney is taking a shot at McDonald's, who regularly hosts Disney Toys at McDonald's. This is a great idea. What could possibly go wrong? Before we get into it, this episode's setup is a reference to the 2004 documentary Supersize Me. If you don't remember the premise for Supersize Me, it's a documentary based around this guy's attempt to eat nothing but McDonald's food for a whole month. He gains a 13% body mass increase and suffers a whole bunch of physical and psychological symptoms because of his poor diet.
See, now's the time of the meal when you start getting the McStomach ache. Are
you sweating there?
My arms, I feel like I got some McSweats going. My arms got the McTwitches going in here from all the sugar that's going in my body right now. I'm dying.
What could possibly go wrong? I'm going to say this a lot in this review. The impact of the documentary was huge at the time, being nominated for an Oscar and Best Documentary and even causing McDonald's to discontinue their Supersize Me menu option. The documentary was later criticized for its lack of scientific value, adding that Spurlock went out of his way to stop exercising and purposely eating the most unhealthy food in order to gain weight, as well as not logging his notes, which is kinda sketchy.
Well, the results of his little fast food experiment are incredibly questionable. His food log for the movie is nowhere to be found. As for the wide range of health complications he experienced, they left experts scratching their heads. Is he making up his data?
And I think there's some weight to that argument. I'll shut up. And for those new to Kim Possible, it's all on Disney+. What are you doing? Go watch it! Go watch it! And then you can come back. The first really bad episode, most considered to be universally bad, is Season 1's Royal Pain, where you have this annoying British Jew that Kim has to protect for the whole episode to stop some prophecy or something.
Oh, I have a problem. A terrible ancient problem.
It's really ungratifying when the person you're supposed to be sympathetic towards is actually just a pain in the I wonder why. He's a bad character, that's why.
But hold that thought, and if you could sidestep just a smidge.
Wally?
Royal Highness, if it's all the same. Cucumber sandwiches must have the crusts removed before they are presented to me. Commoner rags.
Kim Possible also has some more run-of-the-mill plots instead of more character-driven adventures than I would prefer. Do you want an episode where Kim Possible loses her memory? Well, we got that one. Or the one where Kim and Ron switch bodies, but no one questions how they each go to the bathroom. We got that one too. Kim Possible works best, and its comedy is the strongest when you have character-driven episodes. So when you have common television plots like this, with common tropes, I cry on the inside. In these situations, I do wish the writers tried a little harder, but standard plots are sometimes acceptable when there's character development that's unique to the situation. But usually that's a hit or miss on Kim Possible. Anyway, let's review the episode and watch me suffer for your entertainment. Yay, the internet. The episode opens with the classic Middleton High sign, which is a running gag if you never knew that. Well, now you know. They even used it for the live-action movie that people want to forget about.
That's no good.
Ron is struck with the news that he has to take health class, a staple in the American school system that obviously doesn't work out too well. Like DARE. Look up DARE. We all wasted our time.
Some of the earliest studies of DARE's effectiveness exposed DARE as being a pretty useless program for keeping teenagers off of drugs and alcohol, and in fact was having the opposite intended effect.
Ron is on a mission to prove Barkin wrong and eat Bueno Nacho every day because Barkin says it's not healthy, which they were not doing anyway, surprisingly.
Ron, you do practically live here.
Like half the show takes place at Bueno Nacho. When Barkin is saying Bueno Nacho is bad, Ron gets upset, hence the plot of this episode. Ron doesn't do well when people insult Bueno Nacho.
Barkin's gone too far this time. I've got some concerns. She destroyed Bueno Nacho. You'll pay for this, lady. Oh, yes, you will pay!
This ends up mirroring the setup to Supersize Me, where Ron documents his progress, or lack of progress, and how he's feeling as he takes in all this food. It's a lot of food. That's what it is. Meanwhile, at
Supersible Incorporated!
No, wrong one. It's Henchko or whatever. Henchko is basically a company run by the Guy and Wally where they make gadgets for bad guys. And they are unveiling a new invention with Humpty Dumpty here and opening an auction and inviting all the villains. What could possibly go wrong? Even Gemini is there, who has not appeared since his debut episode in season 2.
They're all there, even Gemini. Gemini? I haven't seen him in a while.
Well, he got a game one time, but no one seems to remember that. One of the aspects that's brushed up here, and not really this episode's fault, is that this is the first time Draken and Shigo are pictured together after this season's previous Mad Dogs and Aliens, which is just really lazy. For those who don't remember, Draken had a multi-episode arc about how Shigo won't break him out of prison after So the Drama.
Wait! Come back!
Later, losers!
This is She-Girl, the sidekick who didn't break me out of prison.
And then there's this big episode where she shows up anyway, and they are still mad at each other.
I mean, I'll give you blue, but great? Not so much.
Shigo even helps Kim get Warmonga to leave, while Draken is punched into space. It's a cartoon, it's fine. And then they're just good now? Like, you set up this arc for multiple episodes and straight up don't have an on-screen conclusion? Wow, it's like Disney isn't that good at completing established arcs or something. They kinda fix it last minute with implying Shigo likes Draken romantically, and that explains her behavior, but still. Would have been a not horrible idea to explain that one to the audience. You thought no one would notice, but I noticed. Back when Kim and Ron arrive on the scene, Jack Hench, that's his name, look it up, is selling his new product called the Transducer or whatever the hell. And everyone is kinda like,
Who's applauding?
And once Ron blows his cover by falling into this mysterious substance, Kim fights off all the bad guys until he shows up. Then the villains talk about how he needs to take better care of himself.
You look ghastly, man.
You really should take better care of yourself.
Oh my god, I can't. As the episode proceeds, Ron is basically eating anything in sight.
Yeah, I'll have 3 cheeseburgers.
Peter, for God's sake, she's having a baby.
Oh, that's right. And a kid's meal.
While Kim has to rendezvous with Justice to return the thingamajig. And now the villains track her, so it's a race against the villains. Easter egg alert, Josh from this episode is actually a Make-A-Wish kid. At least we have some positives here.
Well, then mind your own beeswax, Josh.
Ron?
We also get the exciting update that Ron is basically going to turn into this monster because of how he's been eating. And eventually that causes Ron to become this Hulk thing.
Donut!
Subtlety, what's that? The third act of the episode becomes the most stupidest thing ever when Kim and her brothers have to force feed Ron different types of food from the good eating wheel or whatever the hell it's called, all while being followed by every villain that's ever existed, which I think were written to this episode to pad the runtime. This, I feel, is the stupidest point of the episode for me. Like, how obvious and annoying can you be?
It's every freshman's dream, force-feeding vegetables to a senior.
What's going on with you? What are you talking about?
Eventually, though, through eating all the fruits and vegetables, Ron turns back to normal. And this also causes Ron to lose the extra weight he's gained through the course of this episode. I feel like people would totally be down for being a huge Monster Hulk thing if they could lose like 30 pounds after. Hey, do you want to lose weight? Are you allergic to working hard and exercising? Do you just like eating tons and tons of sugar and chocolate? Like me, you should try the Kim Possible Vat of Acid diet. Cover yourself with this mysterious substance, become a monster for like 20 minutes, and then lose up to 30 to 50 pounds. Are you interested? Of course you are. All you gotta do is press that subscription button, and you'll totally get this in the mail. Totally, because this is a real thing that exists. Totally. I see you. Are you pressing it? It's so easy to lose weight with this thing that totally isn't made up. Just subscribe or call this number on your screen. Or whatever. It's fine.
What in the Disney Channel is that?
I guess the moral of this episode is try to take care of yourself and not just eat, everything. As some follow-up criticism has noted with Supersize Me, it's not so much that McDonald's itself is the problem, but how you choose to eat, in general. I don't know, isn't that kind of misleading? I get the production of this episode had good intentions, but its execution comes off as forced and unnatural, especially in the end there. Where did they even get all the food?
Where did he get a crossbow?
I get it, healthy habits take time to adapt and regulate, but I don't think that anyone is gonna drastically change their eating habits because of this one episode of Kim Possible. Especially considering that this is the last season of Kim Possible, I feel like this episode spot could have been used to tell a more meaningful story, or at least clean up some of the messier storytelling that sometimes gets lost in this show. But you have Hulkron because that's what you wanted, right, Disney?
I'm so not in the mood for this.
There are more obvious examples of media trying to hand-fist a lesson for this episode, and this episode does have its moments of clarity.
Ow! 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 Yeah, that was a busy first semester.
But the general premise and setup is so painfully forced that it makes me cringe just thinking about it. And there you go. That's the worst episode of Kim Possible. God, I just hate life sometimes. So what's your favorite episode of Kim Possible? What's your worst episode of Kim Possible? Have you even seen Kim Possible a lot? Let me know in the comments that I won't read, because algorithm. And that's all, folks, except it's not time for the ending gag.
Hey, Ron, try one of our new Muy Bueno enchiladas? Not a chance, Ned. I want a
Walkie slush.
Honey, look, I think something's happened to us.
Krusty Krab, here I come! Oh! How long was I gone?
Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you saw, please remember to leave a comment and share this with a friend or 2 or 5. Click here to subscribe, we really appreciate it. Click here to check out the main collaborator for this video. Click here to check out our video playlist for this video, where you might find similar videos that hopefully you like and enjoy. There's also a credits scroll here, where you can check out all the other awesome contributors. All their info is in the description. That's all I gotta say, KPOA!